My brothers and sisters, as a watchman, I must relay every message of warning that I see coming in the distance, or that which is impressed upon me by the Lord. This message is of the utmost importance. About a month ago, through a series of events that God was orchestrating, I had to sell my small rural home. I thought that home was to be my permanent residence, at least during the first part of the coming crisis. But God's hand was guiding in another direction, and He had me sell a lot of items I would have naturally kept for my next home. God was directing me to downsize and let go of a lot of material weight. My brothers and sisters, God may be in the process of doing the exact same thing with some of you. For some, God may be directing you to sell or get rid of items you may have been holding onto for years now in storage. God may be impressing upon you to sell extra cars or real estate that you don't need. Human nature can justify keeping anything in abundance for fear of an unknown future. But God is telling you to sell right now. You know who you are. God is speaking right now, but very few people are listening. My brothers and sisters, after I sold my house, and after about 2 weeks of living in several different hotels while my wife and children were visiting family out of state, and while I finished some work projects in the video about giants, God impressed me to buy a camper instead of sleeping in motels. This whole experience has kept me out of my comfort zone. I know what's coming to this world, and the fact that God would have me sell my home and a lot of items took a great deal of faith, to say the least. Nevertheless, I have learned to hear the voice of God and to move when He says to move. So I began to search online for a good camper with room enough to house my entire family plus mother in law, as I have no idea how long God will keep us in this transition. I found a camper that I liked and felt God was leading me to, and so I went to my local bank to withdraw money I had just deposited from the house sale. Now, my brothers and sisters, I want you to understand something. God impressed me personally a couple of years ago that I should not acquire anything I need through debt, and that if I needed to get something, it must be bought with cash and not credit. So now, when God told me to get a camper, I knew that it would take almost everything I had physically to use towards a new country home. That also took faith. I was following the Lord and leaving nothing in reserve. And my brothers and sisters, know for a certainty that we are all going to have to one day leave behind everything and trust in the Lord to supply all our needs. Whether it's now or later, we all are going to have to learn how to hear and follow the direction of the Lord, even when it seems to be to our detriment. Now, continuing on, this is 3 weeks ago. I go back to my bank to withdraw $14,000 to purchase this camper from an individual that same day. The bank tells me that they are sorry and that they do not carry that much money. They said that none of the banks in the area keep a lot of cash on them. They said that I could have called a couple of days in advance and they could have ordered the money, but that the most they could give me was $2,000. Now, my brothers and sisters, if it wasn't for the selling of my house, I would not have $14,000 to even withdraw. And though that is a lot of money to me, 14,000 is nothing for a federally insured national bank to have on hand at any given time. Not only did this particular branch not have the physical cash on hand, but they called the other branches in the city, and the most any of the other banks could give me was 1,000 and sometimes 2,000. Some could only give them to me in multiples of 20s and $50 bills. I had to go to 3 different banks and 2 different video teller ATMs just to withdraw a total of $14,000. By the time I was finished driving to the other banks and ATMs, it was already dark and too late to travel. So the person sold the camper to someone else the next morning. I was frustrated to say the least, but I knew God had another camper for me, and He led me to one that costed much less. Fast forward now 3 weeks. It's the night of December 29th. I was praying to the Lord and got the impression to check my bank account. I had made a large purchase a week ago and the money left my account. And then, a couple of days later, from seemingly nowhere, the same amount of money was deposited back into my account. I thought that it was a blessing from the Lord, so I took that money and moved it into a separate savings account. So now, when I got this impression to check my account, I saw that there was a pending transaction trying to take back the same money that was electronically deposited. I was able to transfer the money back over from my savings account and into my checking account just in time to save from getting an overdraft charge. My particular bank charges $36 for every overdraft fee. It doesn't matter if you go over $1 or 1 cent, they are going to charge you $36 if you don't have the money in your account. So I went to bed a little relieved that I dodged the bullet and deposited the money on time. But I awoke the next morning, December 30th, a little bothered. During my morning worship, I felt an uneasiness about the fact that I had thought I had received a miraculous blessing from the Lord, when in fact it was just some bank glitch that returned money without saying where it came from. I thought back to how 3 weeks prior, my bank didn't have my money in their account, and I had to drive all around town making different withdrawals. And yet, if I don't have money in my account, they charge me $36. I thought that that was very unfair and was tempted to actually do a video on the fact that banks should have to pay you money, or at least $36, every time you go to make a withdrawal and they don't physically have your money. And my brothers and sisters, like a sudden flood of information rushing into my head, the Lord made the connection in my mind that the experience with the camper is about to be a real issue in the world, and that He purposefully used this possible overdraft situation to bring my attention back to the issue at hand. My brothers and sisters, as clear as you are hearing and understanding me right now, the Lord made it clear in my mind and told me to share with all of you that it is time right now to take any monies that you have in your banks, credit unions, financial institutions, 401ks, retirements, or whatever you have, and take it out right now. If you do not take it out, you will lose it. The situation I experience at the bank will be felt on a worldwide scale. People will line up to try and withdraw their monies, but it will be too late. I was dealing with just 14,000, but there are some of you who have tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and properties. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, because it should have gone to furthering the work and preparing your household for the crisis. But I am here to tell you right now that whatever is in your heart to do with your money, or whatever you believe you will need going into this crisis, do it right now. Buy it right now. Get it right now, or it will never be gotten. And you will find yourself, along with everyone else, lamenting the fact that you have lost years of savings and accumulations. My brothers and sisters, whatever money you have anywhere, take it out of wherever it is and keep it in a safe in your home until you know what to do with it. If you don't have a safe, buy one. It doesn't have to be a huge, gigantic safe. You can buy a little $40 safe and hide it and bolt it down somewhere in your home. Make a plan right now and get it out of the financial institutions. I would suggest getting a safety deposit box at your local bank and keeping your monies in there, but most banks won't allow it because they say that people are not allowed to take large sums of money out of circulation. Plus, you don't want to be anywhere near a bank when this financial crisis begins. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million or $100. Keep your money with you. Leave only enough in the bank to cover the things you need to purchase with a bank card, like online purchases, bills, etc. Don't save anything digitally. If you don't have it in your possession, then you don't have it. If all you have is a piece of paper showing you your balance, then all you have is a piece of paper with ink on it. Digital money is not real money. Even the cash is going to inevitably lose its value. But there will be a window where you can still do things if you have cash on hand. My brothers and sisters, hear me and understand what I am saying. I am not telling you to hoard money like Scrooge McDuck. I am telling you that we are here and that you need to seek the Lord and ask Him right now what it is that you should be doing with whatever monies you have in your possession. Don't keep the money, spend the money before it loses its value. But until you do, take it out of the financial institutions. When the crisis begins, you should have nothing to lose because you have already spent it through the guidance of the Holy Spirit. And if the Holy Spirit tells you to share it, donate it, or give it, then you need to do that as well. Some of you already have everything you need, but God needs you to give away your excess to gain access to your heart and soul. Some of you have been praying for years about making moves to the country, but have never put a single dollar into action. God doesn't bless you with the whole all at once. He requires you in faith to put your money on the table and trust in Him to make the difference. My brothers and sisters, we serve a God who is not willing that we come to this crisis unprepared. He is speaking and directing if we have ears to listen. My brothers and sisters, you saw the video, Are We Really Ready for a Sunday Law? Many of our brothers and sisters are going to be swept away by surprise because their eyes were on the Pope and not real present truth. My brothers and sisters, this is present truth that you are hearing right now. Present truth for the present generation during the present time right now. It doesn't get more present than this. My brothers and sisters, Noah invested everything he had into building the ark. For some of you, everything you have been waiting on and praying for has been in your possession all along. Many of you have been praying for water wells, not realizing that all the money you needed has been sitting somewhere collecting dust. Right now, you can sell your old, used, or spare car and get almost double what it was worth a year ago. My brothers and sisters, God is opening the door for you to leave right now, and this is your last warning and wake-up call. Many of you, right now, have enough in your retirement funds to purchase your country home and land. This is it, my brothers and sisters. This is that moment when you need to leave your jobs, collect everything that you have been working and saving for, and use it to build the ark that you are going to need for you and your family going into this crisis. If you have been praying and looking for the sign to know when it was time for you to finally leave your job, this is it. Do it now. Start the process right now. If you can't trust God to walk away from your career or only source of income right now, you will never be able to do it in the future. This is not a first call message. This is the last call for those who have missed it. It is almost too late, but God is merciful and sends warning after warning. This message is the angel grabbing you by the hand and pulling you out of Sodom. If you are a young student and you believe this message and feel the Lord convicting you of its truth, take your refund check or whatever funds you have and secure a small little place in the country if you can. Or purchase an RV or camper so that you can have your own home that you can move around wherever the Holy Spirit may lead you. Don't spend any more money on frivolous shoes or clothing. Don't buy new electronics, TVs, or cell phones. Don't waste $1,000 a month on an apartment you will never own. Sell your sporty car and get a truck that can pull a camper. If you don't have a country home, now is not the time to wait for new construction. Buy established property or buy a mobile home or trailer. If you are someone God has blessed throughout the years to be established, if you have your country home and several unused acres that you are simply using as a buffer zone so that other people can't build beside you, then begin making provisions so that any person God is leading right now to buy an RV or camper can have a place where they will be able to park it and connect for sewer and water. My brothers and sisters, God has not blessed you with money and land just to have a wooded fortress as a country home. Everything belongs to God, and we are simply His stewards. When the crisis comes, don't look around wishing you had done more for others when you have the money, land, and means to do it right now.
As soon as peace occurs, I want that cloth distributed to the workers. 2.5 meters each. Also, each person is to get a bottle of vodka. They won't drink it, they know its value. Likewise, those Egyptian cigarettes we organized.
It'll be done, everything you ask.
We've written a letter trying to explain things in case you were captured. Every worker has signed it.
Thank you.
It's Hebrew from the Talmud. It says, whoever saves one life saves the world entire.
I could have got more.
Oscar, there are 1,100 people who are alive because of you. Look at them.
If I'd made more money. I threw away so much money. You have no idea. If I just...
There will be generations because of what you did.
I didn't do enough.
You did so much.
This car. Kurt would have bought this car. Why did I keep the car? 10 people right there. 10 people. 10 more people. This pin. 2 people. This is gold. 2 more people. He would have given me 2 for it. At least 1. He would have given me 1. 1 more. 1 more person. A person, Stan. For this. I could have got 1 more person. And I didn't. I didn't.
Sister White says that it is not until we reach heaven that we will see and understand the importance of one soul that is saved. My brothers and sisters, some of us have a selfish mentality of me and mine. We brag about our country homes and may invite people over for dinner, but we have no real intention of sharing our space during the crisis. Seriously search your hearts. If our love of money prevents us from separating from it, or our items, or our space, or our properties, we will perish with them just like Lot's wife.